I'm 73 years old, and 8 years ago, I made a decision that saved my life. My doctor sat me down when I turned 65 and said something I'll never forget. Julie, most people think retirement means slowing down, but the ones who live past 90, they're doing 7 specific things starting at 65 that nobody talks about. And if you don't start them now, you'll regret it in 10 years. I didn't believe him at first. I thought I was doing fine, eating healthy, walking occasionally, spending time with friends. But he showed me research that proved I was wrong, dead wrong. And what he told me next changed everything. Because these aren't the 7 things you think they are. They're not about diet or exercise. They're about survival. And if you're over 65 right now, or approaching it, you need to hear what happened to me. My name is Jolie Patterson. I live in Portland, Oregon, with my husband Lucas. We've been married 48 years. I retired at 65 from teaching elementary school, 37 years in the same district. Lucas retired a year before me from his engineering job. We thought we'd finally earned the right to relax, travel, sleep in, do nothing if we wanted. And for the first 6 months, that's exactly what we did. We traveled to Hawaii, slept until 9 a.m., watched TV, ate whenever we felt like it. Life felt easy. But around month 7, something shifted. I started feeling tired all the time. Not sleepy tired, heavy tired, like my body was dragging through mud. Lucas noticed I was forgetting things, little things at first, like where I put my glasses, but then bigger things, like appointments and conversations we'd just had. I brushed it off as getting older. Everyone says memory gets worse after 60, right? But then I fell. Just walking from the living room to the kitchen, I tripped over nothing and hit the floor hard, bruised my hip, scared Lucas half to death. That's when he insisted I see Dr. Harrison, our family doctor of 20 years. Dr. Harrison ran tests, blood work, cognitive screening, bone density, balance assessment. When the results came back, he didn't sugarcoat it. Jolie, you're declining faster than you should be. Your bone density is low, your balance is off. Your cognitive scores are borderline. You're on a trajectory that leads to falls, fractures, and possibly dementia within 10 years. But here's the thing, it's not inevitable. I've seen patients turn this around completely by doing 7 specific behaviors starting at 65. Most doctors don't talk about these because they're not prescriptions. They're lifestyle changes. And most people won't do them because they sound too simple or too hard. But the ones who do, they're the ones still hiking at 85, still sharp at 90, still independent at 95. I asked him what the 7 things were. And when he told me, I was shocked, because they weren't what I expected at all. But I was desperate, so I committed. That was 8 years ago. Today, at 73, I feel better than I did at 65. My bone density improved. My balance is solid. My memory is sharp. I just hiked 3 miles yesterday without getting winded. And people constantly tell me I look 10 years younger than my age. So what are the 7 behaviors? Let me tell you exactly what Dr. Harrison taught me and what I've been doing every single day for the past 8 years. This was the first one, and I almost laughed. Dr. Harrison, I'm 65 years old. I can't lift weights. That's for young people. He didn't smile. Jolie, after 50, you lose 1 to 2% of your muscle mass every year. By 65, most people have lost 30 to 40% of the muscle they had at 30. That's why you're tired. That's why you fell. Your muscles can't support your skeleton anymore. And here's what nobody tells you. Cardio doesn't fix this. Walking doesn't fix this. Only resistance training rebuilds muscle. and you don't need a gym. You just need to lift something heavy enough to challenge your muscles twice a week. He explained that sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, is the #1 predictor of early death and disability after 65. A study from Tufts University found that adults over 65 who did strength training twice a week reduced their fall risk by 40%, increased bone density by 1 to 3%, and improved cognitive function. Another study from the Journal of the American Geriatric Society showed that people who lifted weights lived longer and had better quality of life than those who only did cardio. I started with resistance bands. Lucas and I bought a set on Amazon for $20. Every Monday and Thursday morning at 8 a.m., we did 30 minutes of resistance exercises, squats, chest presses, rows, shoulder presses, bicep curls. It felt awkward at first. I was weak. I could barely do 10 squats without my legs shaking. But Dr. Harrison said that was the point. You're not training to be a bodybuilder. You're training to pick up your grandkids, carry groceries, get out of a chair without using your arms. You're training to stay independent. Within 3 months, I felt stronger. My legs didn't shake on stairs anymore. I could carry 2 grocery bags instead of 1. Within 6 months, I added light dumbbells, 5 pounds, then 8, then 10. Now, at 73, I use 15-pound dumbbells and do full push-ups. My bone density scan 2 years ago showed improvement for the first time in a decade, and I haven't fallen once since I started. If you're over 65 and not lifting heavy things twice a week, you're choosing weakness. And weakness leads to falls, fractures, nursing homes, and early death. Dr. Harrison's second rule shocked me. Jolie, you're not eating enough protein. Most seniors aren't, and that's why they're wasting away. Thought I ate plenty. Oatmeal for breakfast, salad for lunch, chicken for dinner. But when he had me track my protein for a week, I was horrified. I was eating maybe 40 to 50 grams a day. You need at least 100 grams, he said, preferably 120. And you need to spread it across every meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner. If you don't, your body cannibalizes your muscles for amino acids. You're literally eating yourself. Research from the University of Texas found that adults over 65 need 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight to maintain muscle mass. That's almost double what younger adults need. Another study from McMaster University showed that seniors who ate 30 grams of protein at each meal maintained muscle far better than those who ate the same total amount, but skewed it toward dinner. I completely changed how I ate. Breakfast became 3 eggs with turkey sausage and Greek yogurt, 30 grams. Lunch became a chicken breast with quinoa and cottage cheese, 35 grams. Dinner became salmon with lentils and vegetables, 40 grams. Snacks became protein shakes, almonds, cheese sticks. I hit 110 to 120 grams every day. The change was unbelievable. Within a month, I had more energy. My hair stopped thinning. My nails got stronger. Within 3 months, I'd gained 5 pounds. But not fat, muscle. My clothes fit better. My posture improved. Now, at 73, I weigh the same as I did at 65, but my body composition is completely different. I'm lean, strong, and energetic. And it's because I eat protein at every meal, without exception. If you're skipping protein, especially at breakfast, you're accelerating your decline. This one sounded ridiculous. Dr. Harrison said, every morning, brush your teeth standing on one leg, switch legs halfway through. Do it every single day for the rest of your life. I asked why. Because balance is the difference between independence and a nursing home. One fall, one broken hip, and your life is over. 50% of seniors who break a hip never regain full mobility. 20% die within a year. And the number one cause of falls isn't vision or medication, it's poor balance. Your vestibular system degenerates after 50, but if you challenge it daily, it stays sharp. A study from the Mayo Clinic found that people who couldn't stand on one leg for 10 seconds had significantly higher mortality rates over the next decade. Another study from the University of Kyoto showed that balanceability at age 65 was a stronger predictor of longevity than blood pressure, cholesterol, or even smoking history. I started immediately. Every morning, while brushing my teeth, I stood on one leg. At first, I wobbled after 5 seconds. I had to hold the sink, but I kept trying every day. Within 2 weeks, I could do 15 seconds. Within a month, 30 seconds. Within 3 months, the full 60 seconds without holding anything. Now, at 73, I can stand on one leg with my eyes closed for 30 seconds. My balance is better than it was at 55, and I know that if I trip, my body will catch itself. This one habit, 2 minutes a day, could be the difference between living independently at 85 or being in a wheelchair. Dr. Harrison said, "Your brain needs novelty. If you do the same things every day, same TV shows, same routes, same conversations, your brain atrophies, neurons die, connections weaken. That's why so many retirees develop dementia within 5 years. They stop challenging their brains." Research from the University of Texas at Dallas found that seniors who learned complex new skills, like digital photography, quilting, or a foreign language, showed significant improvements in memory, comparable to people 30 years younger. Another study from UC Irvine showed that learning a musical instrument after 60 reduced dementia risk by 64%. At 65, I'd never played an instrument in my life, but I signed up for piano lessons. Every Tuesday afternoon for 6 months, I struggled through scales, chords, simple songs. It was frustrating. My fingers didn't move right. I felt stupid. But Dr. Harrison said that was the point. If it's easy, your brain isn't growing. You want to feel uncomfortable, challenged like a beginner. That's neuroplasticity. After 6 months, I could play 3 full songs. Then I switched. I learned Spanish on Duolingo for 6 months, then watercolor painting, then how to use Photoshop. Every 6 months, something completely new. Now, at 73, I'm conversational in Spanish. I've painted 20 watercolors, and I'm learning to code basic websites. My memory is sharp. My cognitive scores are in the 90th percentile for my age, and it's because I never let my brain get comfortable. This one was the hardest for me. Dr. Harrison asked, "Jolie, why do you get out of bed in the morning?" I didn't have an answer. Because it's morning? He shook his head. That's the problem. Research shows that people without a sense of purpose after retirement die significantly earlier than those with purpose. It's called ikigai in Japan, your reason for being. And people with strong ikigai live up to 7 years longer and have 50% lower rates of cardiovascular disease. A study from Rush University Medical Center followed 900 seniors for 7 years and found that those with high purpose in life were 2.4 times less likely to develop Alzheimer's. Another study from the University of Michigan showed that purposeless retirees experienced rapid cognitive decline within 3 years. I had to find my purpose. At first, I volunteered at the library once a week, reading to kids. That felt good, but not enough. Then I started a community garden project in our neighborhood, teaching other seniors how to grow vegetables. That felt better. Now, at 73, I run a weekly workshop teaching seniors digital literacy, how to use smartphones, email, video calls. Every Monday morning, 10 seniors show up at the community center, and I teach them for 2 hours. That's my ikigai. That's why I wake up. And on the days I teach, I feel more alive than on any other day of the week. If you're retired and don't have a reason to get out of bed, you're dying faster than you think. Dr. Harrison said, "Jolie, humans are social animals. Isolation kills, literally." He showed me research from Brigham Young University that found loneliness and social isolation increased mortality risk by 30%, equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Another study from UCSF showed that lonely seniors over 60 had a 59% greater risk of mental and physical decline. "You need face-to-face interaction," he said. "Not phone calls, not texts. In person, eye contact, conversation, at least 4 times a week. Minimum." At 65, I saw people maybe twice a week. Lucas, and occasionally our kids. That was it. I had to change. I joined a book club that met every Thursday. I started attending a senior fitness class on Tuesdays and Saturdays. I volunteered on Mondays. I scheduled weekly coffee dates with different friends on Wednesdays. Within 2 months, I was seeing people 5 to 6 times a week. The change in my mood, energy, and mental clarity was immediate. I laughed more. I looked forward to things. I felt connected. Now, at 73, I'm more social than I was at 40, and my mental health has never been better. This was Dr. Harrison's final rule, and he said it was the most important. "Jolie, your circadian rhythm controls everything. Sleep, hormones, mood, immune function, cellular repair. After 60, most people's circadian rhythms fall apart because they don't get enough natural light exposure. They stay indoors, under artificial lights, and their bodies forget what time of day it is. That's why seniors sleep poorly, feel tired during the day, get depressed, and develop chronic diseases faster." Research from Northwestern University found that people who got bright light exposure before noon had significantly lower BMI, better sleep, and better mood than those who got light later in the day. Another study from UC San Diego showed that morning sunlight exposure reduced dementia risk by 40% over 20 years. Every single morning at 7 a.m., I walk outside for 30 minutes. Rain or shine, winter or summer. No headphones, no phone. Just me, the morning light, and the neighborhood. It resets my circadian rhythm. By 9 p.m., I'm naturally tired. I sleep deeply from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I wake up refreshed without an alarm. My mood is stable. My energy is consistent all day. This one habit, 30 minutes of morning light, has done more for my overall health than anything else. And it's free. If you're staying indoors all day, you're disrupting every system in your body. 8 years ago, at 65, I was declining. Weak, forgetful, falling, scared. Today, at 73, I'm stronger, sharper, and more energetic than I was at 60. My bone density improved. My muscle mass increased. My cognitive scores are in the top 10% for my age. I haven't been sick in 3 years. I haven't fallen once. I take 0 prescription medications. And my doctor says if I keep doing these 7 behaviors, I'll likely live past 95 with full independence. These aren't magic, they're science, and they're simple. But most people won't do them because they require daily commitment. They require you to prioritize your future over your comfort today. If you're over 65 right now, or approaching it, ask yourself, are you doing these 7 behaviors? Are you lifting heavy things twice a week? Eating protein at every meal? Standing on one leg every morning? Learning new skills? Living with purpose? Socializing face to face? Walking in morning light? Because if you're not, your body is making a choice for you, and that choice is decline. But if you start today, right now, you can reverse years of damage and add decades of healthy life. I'm proof. And if a 73-year-old former teacher from Portland can do it, so can you. The question is, will you?